All right. Welcome to the Progressive Unfiltered podcast. My name is Jonah, and I am your host today. Um, so this is my first time doing something like this, but we're just gonna jump right into it. Um, so this is a pretty hot topic for a lot of different people out there on both sides of the political aisle. Um, so Republican, Democrat, right, left, progressive, conservative, um, whatever you wanna say, whatever you are. This is a pretty hot topic issue, most definitely. But before we go any further, I wanna just continue on my opening statement there a little bit. This is the first episode, I guess, if that's what you want to call it. I'm just dipping my toes in the water here, just trying to get a feel for this. So, um, you know, I think that much reform needs to happen in order for us to solve the gun problem. Let's get that straight. The gun problem that ravages this country. Um, and we have something that we're going to open up here just so we can have it. The Giffords Law Center articles and information on gun registration. Um, so, something that I don't know how many people know is pull this up here. There is no comprehensive national system of gun registration. In fact, federal law prohibits the use of the National Instant Criminal Background Check System to create any system of registration of firearms or firearm owners. So there is no national gun registry or database. It doesn't exist. And I think that that is one of the first, small, but one of the first steps that needs to be taken when it comes to addressing this issue. And I think that it's absolutely ridiculous that something like that even exists. But the NRA lobbying in the government, obviously, I don't know why I would think something like that, but according to this study in 2001, this 2001 study, this was 2001 when the population was like 285 or 283 million or something like that. So it's a little less than what it is now. Not a lot, but it's significant enough to where you should make note. Um, and who knows? Who the fuck knows how many fucking guns were there in 2001? Probably still a fuck ton compared to the population. But this study, it looks like but this study, it looked at the states that had state level registries and local registries, and they concluded, and I just don't want to throw out some random bullshit without saying anything or whatever. Keep in mind, this was 21 years ago. Okay, it's 2022. This was 2001. Okay. Um, all of these issues are worse now. All of these problems that this is talking about they were just way worse. But it concluded that states with registrations and licensing systems appear to do a better job than other states of keeping guns initially sold within the state from being recovered in crimes. So less firearms that were registered through local and state registries ended up being found at crime scenes, which I think is an important note to make here. But that literally means that less guns were tracked through local or state registries. The more guns that were tracked through local and state registries were less likely to be found at the scene of crimes. Now, there's a lot of arguments you could make for a national gun registry and all this other stuff that I'm gonna try and talk about here today. But I wanna try and focus on the arguments against gun control and stuff like a national gun registry. Um, so anything or anyone pro Second Amendment, because if we can dismantle those arguments, then we don't have to sit here like I just did and make the argument two birds one stone. Here we go. We're gonna do it. So of course we have We have the classic, fucking, you hear it everywhere. You've probably heard your parents say it or someone in your family that's conservative, your uncle, your grandpa. The go-to, pissed off, bitchy, dumbass, conservative argument. You can't infringe on my Second Amendment rights. That's what it is. You know, people on the news say this. Tucker Carlson, he says it. This is probably the most brainless fucking argument that anyone could make for anything that is anything anti-gun control. And for anyone out there who's listening, and you know, you have someone say this to you, if you're maybe discussing this with them, or maybe you're arguing or debating with them, whatever it is you're doing, look at them, look them dead in the fucking eyes, okay? And say, do you know when that amendment was written? The Second Amendment. Do you know when it was written? I'll give you guys a hint. Don't tell them. Let them answer. But it was December 15th, 1791. It was 1791 when the Second Amendment was written. So it was a long fucking time ago. A long fucking time ago. 2001, that was a long time ago. We're talking 17 fucking hundreds long time ago. So we're hundreds of years in the past. That's when it was written. Okay? And then you look at them again if after that and say, do you know how fast the fastest gun was back then? Do you know what the fastest gun they actually had back then citizens could get their hands on? Roughly, if you had the top of the line shit, top of the line, best fucking shit you could have. If you had the best musket that you could possibly get your hands on, the most advanced one, it shot roughly 3 projectiles in the span of a minute and a half. So about a shot every 30 seconds. So 2 shots a minute. 2 shots a minute. I want people to really hear that. 2 rounds per minute. 2 rounds per minute. That is light years away from stuff that we have now. Just so we're all on the same page here. That was the fastest weapon that anyone could get their hands on. And you can Google all of this. It's not like this is information that you have to go and dig deep for and just constantly search over and over and over to find this really specific niche shit. Excuse me. So, in the War of 1812, the 2 main rifles used by soldiers in the war, U.S. soldiers in the war, were the Harper's Ferry M1803, which means that was the model 1803, and the Springfield model 1795, to which the rates of fire, both of them, on average, 2 rounds a minute. Now, the guns back then, they did depend on how skilled you were with the weapon, but still, the amount of stuff you had to do to get the gun ready to fire, it's like I said before, light years away from the firearms that we have today, we have right now. And right now today, if you really wanted to, if you really wanted to, like if it was like your dream for some reason, you legally, if you follow all the laws, you could own a minigun. And for those of you that might not know what a minigun is, it is literally a Gatling gun. It's a big gun that has a rotating barrel, and it on average miniguns shoot 6,000 rounds per minute. It's insane, but the Firearms Owners Protection Act creates this way for people that if they want to get their hands on machine guns, they can. Um, so if you wanted to go and purchase a minigun, if you could find one that was imported into the United States before 1968 and registered before May 1986 as a transferable machine gun, you could fucking own a minigun. Just fucking straight up a minigun. You can do this if you can find one. If you can find one, that is, you know. Um, but the reason you're able to do this is, like I said before, or anyone is able to have anything that's shouldn't be anywhere near people's hands at all, is because of the Firearms Protection Act, which is what I just mentioned. And this is what part of the Firearms Protection Act says. Just so we're all on the same page here, it makes it unlawful with certain exceptions. For any individual to transfer or possess a machine gun. So again, it's unlawful according to our government for an individual to possess a machine gun, but there's exceptions. So, I mean, you could get one if you really want. It's not really illegal. It's gonna be an old ass fucking gun, but you can still have one. You still have one. There's nothing stopping you. What's stopping you? Finding one, I guess. There should be no exceptions for anybody, anyone at all, period, ever, to possess any form of a machine gun at all. At all. It's fucking bonkers. That's fucking crazy. So let's read exactly what the Second Amendment says. Let's read it. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That's the whole amendment. You go look it up. That's the Second Amendment. That's what it says. That's the whole thing. And nowhere, fucking nowhere, does it say American citizens have the right to own or have a firearm. It does not say that. It does not say that. It just doesn't fucking say it. It doesn't. It says that you have the right to bear arms. That's what it says. That's what it says. Now, for all these cuckoo fucking crazy heads that are gonna be like, yeah, it doesn't say we can't have a gun. We're gonna see what the definition of arm is. Okay, so arm, according to Merriam fucking Webster, is a means such as a weapon of offense or defense. It does not say gun any fucking where in the definition of arm. It just doesn't say it. And I already know what the pro-Second Amendment people are coming to me with. Well, firearm has arm in the name. And yeah, it does. You're right. You're right about that. But when the Constitution, the things that every fucking buddy and their brother wants to fucking reference all the fucking time, does not guarantee anyone any right to a firearm, at that point, you either have to, A, get Congress to amend the Constitution, which is why they're called amendments, but we don't do that, or, that's not going to fucking happen, like I said, or you have to accept that your whitewashed, nitpicky, goofy as all hell argument for why a random schmuck needs a gun to defend yourself is complete and utter horseshit, because it is. It's fucking horseshit. It's fucking horseshit. There are so many fucking weapons I can name right now that you could also use to defend yourself that aren't fucking guns, and I'm gonna do that right now. Fuck, I mean, if you really wanted to, and I've looked at these quite a bit, and they have these. You can buy them on Amazon. They're like $500, $400. Pepper ball guns. A pepper ball gun. There's just one company, they make them. They're real sleek, high quality ones. They're called, I think it's Byrna, Byrna. Just like I said, they sell these on Amazon. They have a website, too. It's a non-lethal firearm, and I've seen videos of them. They They are not painless, so, or anything like that, but they hurt like a bitch, but it's completely non-lethal, okay? So, it's a non-lethal firearm. It's not going to kill anybody. You have mace, pepper spray, a taser, a stun gun, a bat, a baton, a nightstick, a knife. Get a German Shepherd, for fuck's sake. They have these special gloves. They're called SAP gloves. You can look these up. Again, they sell these everywhere. And they usually have these. Their main uses for these SAP gloves are self-defense and also like outdoors, like maybe motorcycle riding or maybe hunting. They have these. They just have metal in them. They have these like little metal stunts. And they're like weighted gloves, and the main purpose they were created for, I do think, is self-defense. I mean, shit. I don't know how many people have these, but you right now, and I mean right fucking now, you can go and look these up too. Everything I've mentioned here, you can go buy. Well, maybe not depending on your state laws. I don't actually want to say everything. Not everything, maybe, but you can buy these on Amazon too. You can fucking buy a whip. You can buy self-defense whips on Amazon, which I don't know how I don't know how that's, maybe that worked, maybe I don't know. I can't I have no idea about that. I don't know. But you could literally go and buy that. Getting off topic here though. According to researchers and statistics, there are over 436.4 million guns in this country alone. That's fucking crazy, especially when there's only 330 million people here, give or take. Maybe there might be like an extra 4 million in there. Still, that's still more guns than there are citizens. That's fucking crazy. That's a lot of fucking guns. But you'll get this, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Ha! Got him! Really? Really? Fucking really? So, again, I'm real big on making my argument believable and, something that, people can get on, that makes sense. So, let's take a look here. Let's take a look at some numbers. Okay, we all love numbers. In 2021, there were 48,953 fatalities from firearms. The highest number of firearm deaths recorded since the CDC began tracking injury fatalities in 1981. So, it's a lot of deaths from guns. A lot. In 1 year. That was last year. But now, let's go. And, let's see how many, people have been saved by guns. Oh, what's this? There's no number for how many lives have been saved by guns? I wonder fucking why. I wonder why there's no fucking number for that. I know why. It's because that shit doesn't happen. That shit doesn't happen. You got these dumbass lying motherfuckers like Andy Biggs, who gets up in front of Congress on his Zoom call and says that 1.5 million guns are used 1.5 million times a year to save lives. Who? Where? Where? It's not happening. And he really did say that. You can look the video up of it. If this was true, do you know the news loves crime? They love shootings. Do you know that if this was true, we would fucking hear about this shit all the time on the news? But we don't hear about it on the news. I wonder why we don't hear about it on the news. I think Fox News would probably report on something like that, but oddly enough, when you go on there, you don't really see a lot of news stories where that happens. You got people like Chris Kyle, who would tell these stories, these batshit off the wall, unbelievably fucking banana stories that aren't even fucking true. He says, "Oh yeah, This one time, I was at a gas station. These two armed men approached me, and I jumped out, shot, killed both of them. This shit did not fucking happen. It didn't. It didn't fucking happen. And even the police, gas station owners, anyone, any person that could have been involved with that story came out and said that that is literally a huge load of horse dookie, because it was. It was. And this argument of more guns equals more lives saved is just some stupid bullshit that the NRA made up to get more fucking money from brainwashed people. If you go on the NRA website right now, they have this entire section where they say that deregulating the sale of firearms is the best way to go if you want to try and stop crime. That's literally what the fuck. They have a whole page on it. It's insane. It is insane. The stuff that's on their page. And nobody in their right mind that has any sort of common fucking sense thinks that. No one does. Abso-fucking-lutely no one. The cops in Uvalde, they had guns. They did. Did they stop the shooter? The resource officer, who used to be former police officer in Parkland, Florida, had a gun when Nicholas Cruz shot and killed his classmates. Did he stop the shooter? All in all, because I'm almost out of time here, so we're gonna have to probably revisit this stuff in another episode because I didn't get to everything. The amount of steps that we need to take in order to combat the gun problem in this country will only continue to get longer and longer and longer if we don't stop fucking around. We as a country and a society need to come together and collectively say, well, we've had enough of this shit. Something needs to change. I live in Virginia, and last month we had two very devastating shootings here that made national news. And I don't like talking or revealing personal things about any aspect of my life unless possibly for the sake of trying to get my message across. But right after I'm off here in a few seconds, right after I'm finished talking here, go on your phone, Google WWBT in all caps, NBC 12. Google WWBT NBC 12. It's my local NBC news station. Go on there and in the search bar, search shooting. And then sort by newest. And the amount of shootings that happen in the area that I live in never ceases to amaze me. It's devastating. And citizens in the freest country on earth shouldn't have to fear leaving their house or sending their child off to school or going into their 9 to 5 without knowing if they're going to return or not. I am your host, Jonah. This is the Progressive Unfiltered podcast. If you liked this, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're on YouTube, hit the bell notification and click all updates so you never miss an episode. And if you're on Spotify listening to this podcast right now, make sure you hit that follow and that bell button so you know when a new episode is ready for you.